Hey guys, welcome to the R.A.D podcast, episode 14. This is a really awesome episode because I've got a special guest with Eric and I today. It is my ex-wife, Angela Simpson. These podcasts are now brought to you by the Mobile Barbershop Depot. Joey's always a huge supporter of the show. We were going to record this there today. Ange actually turned up there today, but the Mobile Barbershop's a little bit small. So we're recording it in our old... in your house.
What used to be our home.
Yeah, the reason why Ange and I are jumping on this podcast today, a couple of things, is that I know a lot of people are super curious in relation to how we consciously uncouple and how that separation came about, and obviously with kids involved. So Ange and I still remain the best of mates, which a lot of people find really strange. It is a little bit odd sometimes, especially the conversation we just had preluding this. That's very good.
We actually do a whole podcast on that.
We're going to. But Eric's going to interview us today, and we're going to get down. We'll be honest. We'll be open. Hopefully there'll be maybe not any tears, maybe some tears, certainly some laughs. And but Eric, take it over, buddy.
Yeah, I think I've been looking forward to this podcast. Actually, we've been talking about it for a little while, and you canceled on us last week. So
I have a sick child.
I know. I'm just joking. But I was looking forward to it. So waiting an extra week is even more exciting. And I think it's because it's a very interesting topic. You know, there's a lot of people that are going through different things in life, and I think it's great that you guys are so open about this topic, because usually it's, you know, exes can't even be in the same room. You know, they can't even breathe the same air. And in this case, it's totally opposite, to the point, like, even when my wife and I talk about it, I find it weird still. You know, they're very good friends of ours. You know, we talk regularly. It's just odd because it's not, you know, it's not usual or normal. It's not
common. It's not normal.
It's not common. But I think people need to realize that with the amount of work I think one does to themselves, you know what I mean, and puts into themselves, like you guys have personal development and whatnot over the many years, adds to that, you know. And we've been talking about this on our podcast. Like, your guys' relationship comes up almost in every podcast that we talk about in some shape or form, right? Relationships in general.
Not about you.
Not just
I need to start listening.
No. You're important. You're not that.
Yeah, just in relation to how I've dealt with it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And the emotions and the steps. You know,
for a guy in particular, it's really important because you can turn up in two ways, can't you? You can turn up as a person that hasn't got any consciousness around how they act or feel about it, or you could. And I think that's what's really benefited.
And definitely, it's not like you guys are just nobodies. Like, a lot of people know you guys, right? You guys are, you know, pretty well known on the Gold Coast. I mean, Hugh with his clothing shops back in the day. Anyone that I know on the Gold Coast that I'm friends with or close to knows Hugh. Just, that's the guy that started with, you know, the clothing stores. You know what I mean? Because that's where everyone used to shop back then.
He's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. And then we have, obviously, we have the social media influencer here, slash businesswoman, and it's, you know, part of the gratitude project, which is amazing, you know.
Yeah, so I think
always check
with a bit of that notoriety in terms of our relationships, I think a lot of people held us out to be that. Would you agree? A couple that this caught them by surprise.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
It caught me by surprise. And when we'll talk more about the timeline on when this happened, because even the timeline when this initially happened, from what you guys told me, is you know, caught me by surprise as well, because we were together, you know, at Christmas time.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. Like, I was interested that no one picked it up, because like we all went to, so everyone understands, we went to Byron Bay for Christmas last year.
Yes.
For a family holiday. Hugh and I slept in different rooms. If you had been looking for it, you would have seen we didn't touch each other, we never held hands, we didn't sit next to each other.
Like, looking back now.
We weren't together.
Even before that, it happened, like it was.
This is what I mean. It was months before that. So this is why, like, when we ended up finding out, you know, when you guys told us personally, I was kind of, you know, I was caught by a bit of, you know, surprise. Like, nothing, to be honest with you, nothing's really surprising these days, to be quite honest. But there's
But usually
still
you
a
can
bit
see
of,
it coming.
yeah.
Because I think for me, like my experience of like people I've seen go through similar things, not all people, but some, is that they get themselves in their relationship to a point where they probably should have started communicating around their relationship years or months before. And what happens is they get to a point where there's so much like anger and frustration and hate, and they're so like enraged at their partner for not showing up the way they want them to, that people see it coming because that energy they feel towards each other just does not feel good.
Yes.
Whereas you and I caught it before it got really bad and before we were fighting or saying bad things about each other in public, and that's when the communication started. And that's why we kept it quiet for so long, because it was like, we need to work through this without outside influence, without people giving their opinions based on the fact that they knew nothing about. Like, no one knows what happens in a relationship.
No, and that's the thing. And I think in the life that we live now, you know, everyone thinks they know everybody through their social media, right? Because we all post the best photos with the kids and happiness and smiles. You know, you're not posting the crying and the arguing and, you know, all the real stuff. And
so where that happened, Ange and I, and that's what we spoke about. We wanted to deal with it ourselves to see if what we were feeling and thinking would lead to a certain result, and what that result looked like in the future for us without any. We didn't even tell our parents or our close friends. I think you were the first person I ever told anything about it. But Ange had spoken, we had spoken about it for months. I think it was even before, when was it?
Yeah, so let's go back a little bit. So let's go back to the timeline. So when did this, we'll call it the separation, when did the separation actually start, when you guys knew, okay, you know?
It was just before we moved in here, so it would have been like October-ish.
October.
Because I remember September was when we were having all the big discussions, like the big conversations, because then we went to Tony Robbins.
Yeah. So we're talking a year ago. September.
Yeah, a year ago, yeah. So in September we went to Tony Robbins. I had a conversation with my friend Emma. I kind of like, we were at Tony Robbins, everyone was jumping, happy clapping, and I took Emma out and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to be married in a few months. Like, I don't know if we're meant to be together. And it's like whole meltdown that you usually have at Tony Robbins. And then from there, it was just even more conversations. And the only people we spoke to about our relationship were people that we respected and people who were able to help us based on their prior experience. You know, like Shane, and obviously I spoke to people like Nick. And so it wasn't like we were going around telling all our friends, because Nick Broadhurst. And and so like we only were speaking to people who were like, okay, they can actually coach us and help us through this, which I think was a really big part of what made us do it successfully. Is we sought help from professionals, not I'm going to go talk to my friend. Like for a woman, you like usual reactions. I'm going to go talk to my friend who doesn't have the world's best relationship. And it doesn't mean they have a bad relationship, but it's like a friend who maybe has no experience coaching, a friend who has never been through dramas with their, you know what I mean? So you're talking to someone who really has no way of helping you.
Sometimes friends won't tell you the truth, right?
Yeah,
They don't hurt your feelings.
That's what I saw out. So I was thinking of my friend, because like, who can I approach and talk to about this? And like, with all the greatest respect to all my mates, they're not the people I want to approach about something like this, because they're in relationships and I can see into those. I'm like, okay, well, that's not something where someone can give me some advice.
And they're not coaches.
Not coaches. Yeah. So we both sort out some various people that we hold highly respectable that are coaches.
Yes. And
that's how the conversations began. Around that, like, and I know too, and we speak about this all the time, even today, like I find that communicating to your partner, and I spoke about it last week, and then I spoke about it today, is the most important thing in a relationship.
All
relationships, friendships,
business relationships, children.
Yeah.
Like it's to me, it's number one. It's a non-negotiable. And like I said last week, you know, like even with you know, Jen and I, you know, she used to be a horrible communicator. You know, when we first met many years ago, and she's worked on herself quite a lot. And it's because I guess I over communicate, I think, which is a very good thing. In a way, probably not in certain settings, because sometimes. It's probably annoying, but it's just one of those things where you have to express. If you don't express, it just sits in the gut, sits in the subconscious, and it's there. It does not go away. I've been discussing this with a couple friends of mine right now that are having some issues, and two guys. Like it's not husband and wife or anything. It's just a friendship, and and I'm just like, you guys need to communicate. They'll communicate to me, but not themselves.
Yeah, and that's get stuck in relationships too, so they talk to friends and family members, but not to the actual
Not to
person.
each other.
It's because you know what? It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who wants to be in? What person wants to be in an uncomfortable situation on purpose? Not a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What people have to realise from that uncomfortable moment comes out of that is like clarity, and purpose, and they find like
Provides comfort.
Yeah,
The uncomfortable situation does provide comfort at some point, but it is hard to get there.
Like Angela and our initial conversation around it was weird, right?
So many conversations around that. Like I remember conversations in the kitchen over there, I remember conversations at our old house, I remember sitting in the car having conversations. I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. But it's also, I think, for a lot of people, and this is the hard part, is you can be an over communicator and you used to be an under communicator. You're definitely not anymore. Neither are good or bad. It's the quality of communication you're having. So like often with relationships, what I've seen in my coaching is women will go into like what a lot of people call blame, shame, and justify. And the truth is, if I was going to Hugh and saying, you don't love me, you don't, I'm not, I don't have this, I don't have that, you're not doing this, that is the wrong style of communication. Saying to someone, the experience I'm having right now with you is that maybe you don't love me anymore. Is that, like, am I feeling that right? Or having the communication of, because of this action, the story that I'm telling myself is that you don't love me, or that you don't care, or you don't want to be married, whatever the thing is. But it's not blaming someone. It's like, and this is an example that is just popping up out of nowhere, but it's saying to someone, based on this action, the story I'm telling myself is, and in that way you're not blaming someone else for what they're doing or how you're feeling, you're taking full responsibility for what you're telling yourself. Yes. And in that way, the other person doesn't feel defensive and they don't get like, well, it's not all my fault, it's your fault. And that's when it starts getting tricky with relationships, I think, when people are like, I'm gonna blame you for everything, it's all your fault, I did this because you did that. That's not cool.
And that's where most communication goes to, right? And then it turns really nasty, right? And it turns into a fight, and it turns into, emotion, and things getting thrown, and who else knows what.
That initial discussion is normal. Like this as well, man. So like you could be arguing about something that's not even a thing.
Yeah.
You come home and like the washing's not done, and you like blow up deluxe about it. But really, what is the problem was like something that happened.
What's the problem is the little box in your gut that you didn't deal with last week.
Yeah.
Right, that you should communicate. It's built up.
And it comes out.
It does.
Yeah, correct.
And I'm being very cautious of that myself, even with the kids. You know what I mean? Like, because I think a lot of parents, and I have, and I've caught myself doing it before, take our frustrations out sometimes on the people closest to you, whether it be your wife or sometimes it is the kids, right? It could be something that you just did something at work or lost a deal or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden, you come home and watch out.
Yeah, so just a bit like about that, Ange. So like when we initially had those conversations about us initially thinking or we're going to separate.
Yes.
Like what was the sort of thought process with you in terms of getting resourceful in terms of how did you deal with it?
How did I deal with
that separation?
First of all,
emotionally?
I think that number one is, okay, this is actually real now, right? Like, this is actually happening, and then there's a level of acceptance, okay? Accepting this.
Yeah.
Just because you accept it doesn't mean it's still easy to deal with. So there's obviously some dark times, right? Some upsetting times that you went through, and you might even still be going through at times, right? Like I know when I talk to you, at times there's still touch points that I can tell it's emotional. It's not 5 years ago, it's not 10 years ago. Like you say, time heals. This is still quite fresh for a lot of the listeners, a lot of the people that don't know you you guys personally that are still in awe of this whole situation. So yeah, how did you cope?
First of all, it's for me, and it's always been this way with all my stuff, you know, it's just like cry all the time and do all the things. But you can't just be like, you know what, I just got to soldier on. I just got to keep going. Like you got to, whatever that emotion is, you just got to take it out and put it in front of you and address it and give it the attention it deserves. Journal about it, write about it, think about it, talk to someone who you trust. So I've got a friend, Courtney, who I think their relationship is awesome. They have great communication. They've done a lot of personal development. She was like the person I was constantly talking to. Like, okay, I want to, like, you know, I don't know what to do here. I'm feeling sad here. And she was a good coach. She just listened. But the main thing was I wasn't taking my emotions, which I have done in the past, and squashing them down and being like, you know what, it's happening. You've got to soldier on. You've actually got to feel the emotions and like cry and scream and be upset and get angry and do all the things. And I think having you as someone to talk to as well was really helpful, because whenever we were like not sure of where we were at, we would just have a discussion and a conversation. And that makes it so much easier, because it's often the things that are making, or the things that were making me upset were the stories I was telling myself based on how he was acting or what someone else was saying or whatever was going on.
Yes.
And when you communicate with someone, it all comes down to communication.
Yeah, and we were talking about it the other day, and it's a little about, you tell yourself this story every day in your head about what's going on, or what's going on, but it's not even reality. It's just a little story you're telling yourself, and you start believing the story, and then you start thinking more and more about it, and that's what causes the problems. But if you initially remember those times I used to go, what's wrong with you? He's just like grumpy's walking around the house. And it's because I wasn't communicating. And then Andrew grabbed me and said, Hugh, you got to talk. And I go, okay.
Which is like a month ago. I was like, you're angry at me. And I like came over from something and refused to come into the house. And I was like, get in the house and talk to me. Like, we need to talk. What's going on? We spoke for like half an hour, and then it was all better.
And that goes to show you, like we said in the previous episodes, you know, Hugh's been doing a lot of work on himself, right? He's journaling, he's meditating every day, he's you know, doing all this great stuff. Yet, just a month ago, you know, he was having troubles, you know, speaking about his feelings. So it goes to show you, it's a work in progress. It's not stopping. Like it's you know.
And it's good. And with Ange and I as well, and I can speak for us both here, it's still a work in progress. Like every day. Like,
well, for the rest of your
life.
life.
You know what I really value? I want to tell you, I really value us being able to talk on the phone, like as mates. I think leading our conversation today around just around relationships and stuff, I think it's amazing, cool. Eric. Like, I don't even know whether we even see something like this in terms of like a relationship where the two exes are. I've never seen it communicate like this.
Yeah, I've never seen it personally. I know a lot of people that are separated, and I've never seen it.
I was actually just talking to a buddy of mine I had lunch with just then, and we were talking about this situation. And there were two unique situations that Ange and I found ourselves in. Because I just wanted to clarify this quickly, because it really spoke, it was really profound to me. So in a relationship, you've either got one person is either in love and one person is out of love, and then you know they try to keep that relationship together because one person is in love. If two people fall out of love at the same time, that's like a what do they call it? Like a perfect storm, so to speak. If you know, like it's unusual and uncommon that would happen. But in that reason, Ange and I did in a moment in time fall out of love at the same. Doesn't mean we're not still love each other as friends. We fall out of love. Is this how you related back to that conscious uncoupling? Yes, and we'll talk about it. I think Ange is the best description of how to describe conscious uncoupling for people, because you do it in terms of that. So that's one thing that we had, because some other relationships, one person will may remain in it, be love, and we'll keep it together. Yes, we had that. And then the second thing we had, which just completely slipped my mind at the moment, I can't believe that. It was we were both love at the same time, and I can't remember what the other one was now. I'm just telling you.
Stay tuned, because the regular program will be coming back.
It was really okay. Here we go.
Let's get to a break.
Back to the conscious or so conscious uncoupling. Now, I've never heard of that before. YouTube. Well, I'm not a
No, there was actually a woman who wrote a book about it, and she was like,
so because when I tell people or people ask me, so what happened, you know, conscious
I
uncoupling.
think we sound like wankers.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's almost like, so tell me exactly when I'm telling people conscious uncoupling, what I should be thinking, exactly what it is in my mind that that
I
means.
think the main thing is when you think about the words to put to a separation or divorce or whatever it is, the thing with us was the main word that kept coming up for people is like a breakup or split. And for me, or divorce, they're really heavy, angry words. And for me, I was like, the thing that really got me here is nothing broke. We haven't split. Like nothing is negative here. We're simply not being married anymore. And I always think, and we've had these conversations since like when we were happily married, that we live in a time where we are going to live until we're 100, right? And like 100 years ago, I don't know how old people were when they died, like 30, 40, 50, whatever it is, and they would get married and they would have a shorter amount of time to be together. And marriage originally was created as a business deal. It was, you know, a smart business move for families to connect to family for, you know, reasons that this family had this type of livestock and this family had this type of agriculture, whatever it may be. It was a business deal when it was first created. It hasn't really strayed from that. We've added love into it, which is really nice. But originally that's what it was made for. And I look at humans now, we're living so much longer. Like if we had stayed married my entire life, it would have been 80 years that I was with the same person. And he's awesome, but that's
Like
80
a fine wine,
years.
like a fine wine.
That's 80 years with one person.
That's
One
crazy.
person. And that's crazy to me. And the other thing is obviously people develop and grow, and there becomes a
Different
point
people.
for some people where you grow in different directions or you turn into different people. You are not the man I married, I'm not the woman you married. So how can we still like promise to love each other when do you
That's
get that
next
part?
level, man.
Okay, so
When
when we first met, I was this.
Oh,
I told you.
I can imagine that.
But we didn't even meet them. Mum had this. I said on last. Mum had
Yeah.
this laminated picture, the 50 best dressed guys on the Gold Coast. I won it. She had it laminated out the back. She brought it out. Ange came in to look at a watch. Mum told her to take this watch back to the shop you bought from us. Ange bought this watch from us. Mum goes, "Here's my son." She probably even said this.
She goes, "You should marry my son. You're a gorgeous girl and you went to a good school. You should marry my son." And I'm like, okay, cool.
So that's how we met. I had this clothing shop. I had
Yeah.
this notoriety. But now, if I was that guy back then, this guy, this spiritual.
Oh my god, I would have run for the hills. I've been like, who the fuck is that hippie?
Obviously.
Yeah, and if he had met me how I am now,
That's when Byron Bay can buy a house.
you
out
back
there, right?
then meeting me now, you would have been like, this bitch is too much. Like,
Yeah.
she's too full on.
Yeah.
I was shy, I was quiet. So like we fell in love as completely different people, and we haven't grown into bad people.
No.
We haven't grown necessarily in different directions, but
Just grown.
no, and the thing is, what attracted us in the beginning to each other no longer is there.
Yes.
And I'm not necessarily attracted to the type of person that Hugh is now.
Yes.
Emotionally, spiritually, physically, you're very good looking. And same with me. I'm drop dead gorgeous and smart.
You are.
You guys are honestly, you guys are both amazing people. You guys are both beautiful people. And I think this is what makes it, you know, very difficult and confusing for the people on the outside that have looked.
But just because two people are nice, smart, successful, good looking, doesn't mean they need to be together.
Exactly, but unfortunately, we are in a time of Instagram, right? And I know that you are very influential on Instagram, but it's one of those things where I like your Instagram is a little bit different because you are quite raw at times, and I like that, right?
Why are you laughing at me?
Because I said at times. Is that why? No, because you need to be real, right? Like we used to edit this, right? And then Hugh and I thought to ourselves, like, why edit it? Like this guy just forgot about something, you know?
Did you remember it yet?
No,
You know, and it's not it's not a big deal. You want to know why? Because everyone else is forgetting something right now too.
Have you been taking your illegals?
No.
That's why.
But what I'm saying is.
Go ahead. Did you forget again?
It is his amigas.
What I'm saying is that what Ange just said in terms of growth individually,
Yes.
you just grow as people, especially if you're doing the work every day. And it's not just going to personal development seminars
Of
with
course
Tony
it's
Robbins.
not.
That's
doing the work.
That's just it's reading, investing in yourself. It's that, and that is where growth happens. You find yourself, and we just found ourselves on different tangents. I actually said to you, you know, remember when we first started. I think when we first got married, because of the age difference between us, I said, "Oh, it'd be so funny because you're much younger than me. When you get to 30, that you're going to be funny if you got to 30, you've had this midlife crisis, and you're going to find yourself."
Yeah.
Because I just thought.
I've actually said it, like Jen and I discussed it, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a midlife crisis.
Yeah, no, but Jen and I but Jen and I discussed it. I just like, okay, like Ange did get together with. So what were the exact ages when you guys first started?
I was 17.
17.
We'll call it 17.
So like when I was 17, like
I was 25.
yeah, I was not interested in one human specimen. That's for sure. You know. Like, there was, you know, like at 17, I'm running rampant with a ponytail and 2 earrings, 3 earrings, one up here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
And you got the Jen. She's like,
I want to say one word right now, but it'll just break down this whole. Like we'll just start laughing for the next half an hour, so I can't say it. So,
yes,
Go back to it.
Yeah, so you were running at 17.
Oh yeah. So I didn't even think about being with someone seriously at that time, you know. So it's funny how you kind of called it back then, you know. It would be funny if this happened and it's actually happening. So the question that I have for you, Ange, and this is like, do you feel or have you felt like, was there a point in time where it was like, you know what, I feel like I missed something. I think like I feel like I missed when I was between the ages of 17 and 22 or something. I don't know, whatever, like being single and having a good time, because you guys still had a very active lifestyle and enjoying each other's company, going out. Like it's not like you guys were a boring married couple that didn't do anything, right? Like, and this is before my time of knowing you guys, right? So
Eric, we had the best marriage.
yes,
Yeah,
because you gotta remember, even me, I didn't know you guys then. So some of these stories are new to me as well, right? On how you guys used to be. I hear them from you guys, but we
had the most successful marriage, mate. Like, just being with me by my side, unwavering through all the highs and lows through my life. She had so many opportunities to think, well, what am I doing? This all my business has failed, right? She could
snatching those milkshakes.
Snatching those milkshakes when I got overweight, but she chose in those times to stay with me because we had this connection, we had this love, we had fun, right? And that's a huge testament to you. And when I reflect back on that, like with you and your family and everything you've done for us as a couple, like it's just speaks volumes. But then what happens is, it was my turn to give back to Ange.
Yeah.
Unbeknownly to us, I quit work.
Yeah.
There was this difficult period of time initially when there was a transition phase from me quitting work to be this corporate coach. I thought I was going to walk straight in and be Tony Robbins.
Yes.
But it doesn't happen that way.
And you're still working on it.
Still working on that 2.5 years later. But then there was this point in time where I gave back to the relationship I feel, and that Ange just grew into this thing that this amazing business that she made. So it's just like the world, the universe.
It all comes back to you.
Did you feel that?
Yeah, totally.
And like, she was there for me through all that time, and I was there with her. And then there comes a point in time where we just go, okay.
Well, it's kind of weird, but it's no longer about loyalty. You know what I mean? Like if we had been like, I've done so much for you, you've done so much for me, we have to stay together because we've got to be loyal to each other because we've done so much for each other, but we're not really in love anymore, so that's kind of weird. You know, it's kind of a point where you have to look and go, what's actually the best for both of us moving forward?
Yeah.
And the best for both of us moving forward was like, let's change our life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that Instagram post I put up last night, that I think rings true for us in terms of you can always start over again.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't matter, but because what we can do, Eric, Ange is what, 32?
I'm 31.
31. Look at how young you are.
I'm a baby.
She's got her whole life to live, life and a half or more to live. Like
31, 52.
That's what's
Honestly, you're lucky you're Asian, man. Honestly.
So young. We look like the same age. It's annoying.
I look 10 years older than you.
That's why I can stay with you.
European,
Because
Portuguese,
never
man.
aging.
Worse.
As you'll
Never.
never accept.
Hey, listen, it's not this about. This is about you guys.
So what I'm saying is that it would be unfair. This is what my point of view. It would be unfair to keep us in this relationship, just to keep us there, when we could live our whole lives again and find whatever it is out there we want to find. Whether it's love, whether it's business, whether it's traveling, whether it's whatever. We could have an opportunity to do that.
Right. Now, another question. Yeah, another question that I have is, and this is an interesting one that a lot of people probably have as well, is the dynamic, right? So usually in a relationship, not all the time because things are changing dramatically now, but usually in a relationship, it's the man comes home, brings the bacon, right? The man is the CEO or the CFO of like you were, right? Earning good money, big role, suit and tie, going to Sydney, boat shows. You know, you're selling multi-million-dollar boats. You're rubbing shoulders with some, heavy hitters, people, heavy hitters, and then you go from that to being at home, right? And Ange basically going out and starting her own business. And you didn't know that business was going to be the success that it is today. You just started, right? You took a punt and you put in a lot of hard work, time, and effort, and this is what happened. So, Ange, for a woman, because I'm reading a book at the moment about learning how to be a real man, and it sounds like, oh, be a man, pound your chest, and it's the total opposite. It's like how to communicate, how to be spiritual, how to be emotional, how to know, how to cry, and it's not just this big, manly persona thing. But how did you find that going from one spectrum to another? Because it kind of related to when you guys first met. When you first met, he was this guy that owns these, expensive clothing stores. He wasn't, selling at best and last. It was, high quality clothing, best dressed, all the discounts in the world you want. But right, probably driving a nice car, making cash money, because I don't think debit was even around back then, right? And then obviously things evolve, but then the roles got reversed. At some point, the roles got reversed. Explain to me a little bit more about that, because that interests me a lot, and I think that would probably interest a lot of people, because sometimes I think to myself, like, how cool would it be
for Jen to make the money? Yeah.
And then I think to myself, hold on here, is it supposed to be like, right? And then my mind goes, would it be that good?
I think, and one of my mentors, Gordon, who I spoke to more about my business, but he also helped me through some of this, he made a really strong point around no matter who's bringing in money, no matter like how that works, the man needs to, and feminists may not like this, and I'm okay with that, the masculine energy, if you're in a same-sex couple, needs to be the feminine energy's hero. And so I think what happened with us is like basically Hugh had this business idea. I'm like, you know what, my business will just fund us until that happens. It'll just get us by, and we have money from him finishing his work. And then I think what happens is it got to a point where we thought his stuff would kick off a lot faster. We were like, the coaching, and we're like, he started his own business, put a lot of money into a website. Like, we're like, okay, this will all kick off, and it didn't. And so for a woman with children, you go straight to survival mode. I need to make something work right now, and I'm going to work my butt off. And I work my ass off. Like, I was on calls all day, all night.
I remember us, going away to Mission Beach, and Angie doing calls. She's doing it. And I was fine with that, but it's like, I was like, oh, she really is awesome.
But that, to me, it never crossed my mind anything between us, because I was in survival mode. I was like, we've got rent to pay, we've got children to raise. I just need to do whatever I can right now, because I can see that his stuff wasn't happening because we needed it to. And it was like, I got to do this. You don't, when you're in a situation like that where you actually fear we might not be able to pay rent, or like we don't have enough money for food shopping. Like, there were times when we were at Woolworths taking $2 out of one account and $4 out of another account to pay for food. There were times when people lent us money at the checkout.
Yeah.
Like we were fucking struggling.
There was a time there where I couldn't pay for groceries, and the lady at the checkout came and paid for the balance, which was $9.
Wow.
And I said to myself, I'm going to go back there one day.
Yeah.
And then she was pregnant not too long ago, and I went back out to the flowers. Bought this big bunch of flowers, which was 10 times more than.
I thought you were going to say it when you got her pregnant.
Well,
That's actually why we broke up.
There's those moments in time.
Yeah.
Just like, it's so resourceful, works so
I
hard.
love it. Like,
And she just, made, not only that, but she then provided. She was the masculine energy. She's just fixing fucking up.
I honestly love that. And this is what a lot of people.
I just want to say something. Andy's built a business in the space of 2 years. Yeah. I was a part, like, I was certainly a part of that journey.
Yeah, of course you are.
But it would take someone like me with an able degree, like 7 to 10 years to make that happen. She did it through fucking hard work.
You're good looking, but she's better.
He's gonna age way better though with the stuff.
Yeah.
No, but I think what I'm getting at there is when you're in survival mode, you're not thinking to yourself, you know, is my husband playing his part right here? All you're doing is thinking, what needs to happen, what needs to happen, what needs to happen.
Yeah.
What do I need to do right now to make enough money? What do I need to do to make sure that I continue to grow, that we've got food on the table, that we never have to ask the cashier for money again? Like you're in that space. And then once we got to the point where it was like, oh, we can breathe again, that's when we started noticing things. And that was, and like I said before, he needed to be in some capacity my hero.
Energy.
But we swapped.
Yeah.
And so I was the masculine energy and I was doing the saving and I'm like, oh, I'll make all the money and I'll do the things and I'll fix this. And
I was like, okay, I'm going to play golf and surf and take the kids out and just shopping.
And so,
from the shops.
Yeah, anything from the shops. And I'm like, just go pick up the kids from school. I got golf to do. Like, I got stuff to do.
You just saw these shoes. You mind if I buy them?
You never did that. You just bought the shoes. Wow. But yeah, and then when we slowed down, that's when we realized the disconnect. And then that was also at a point where as well, we were like, during that 2-year journey, we did a lot of work. He had a lot of time for like reflection.
I just did podcasts, I read a lot,
Yeah.
we went to personal development seminars, we changed our lives. In that 2 years. I think that 2 years in all seriousness was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was like, even though our separation has happened, I think like it was meant, this is evolution of ourselves is meant to happen.
Yeah.
Love it. Now, let's get into the kids. There's kids in the mix here. There's 2 kids. We got Bo and Harper, 2 little beauties that we spend quite a bit of time with my daughters as well, which very, 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 very lovely children. Now, a couple things. One is, how did you break the news to them? Because obviously Harper's quite young, so she probably doesn't understand.
She had no idea.
But Bo obviously understands a little bit more. She's about 6 years old, right? So a couple questions is how because that's a big conversation. Like that
She's having such a
good more uncomfortable probably than like talking to your partner about, you know, unconscious coupling. Like in my mind. So that, and how is the co-parenting happening?
If I could just quickly answer the one about Bobo. Again, we had a certain set of circumstances which was really a little bit uncommon. So Andy's parents, her mum and dad, separated when Andy was a teenager. They're now very good friends still.
Yes.
Andy's mum's, new married, not so new anymore, but they've been together forever.
Yeah. Almost 20 years.
But they're the happiest they've ever been.
Yeah.
So what we were able to do, we were able to give both this analogy, which is pre-frame it. So, Nanny and Pa, well, they separated, but they're still how good mates they are. Yeah, they're really good friends.
Yeah.
Nanny and Wazzy, they love each other so much, don't they? She's they do love that stuff coming in Nanny. She's like, because kids they have no benefit of hindsight or foresight, right? Because whatever they're feeling at this moment is what they're feeling. They don't know that tomorrow they're not going to feel that way.
Right.
So what they're feeling now, if we could pre-frame it, which we did, I think that's what helped.
Yeah, for sure. Giving her that. So she was super emotional the day we told her. She's like crying, throwing herself on the floor. We just sat. I read a really good book called Parenting Apart. Do you guys do show notes?
No.
do show notes.
Yeah,
Guys.
we do show notes. We do.
Okay, so it's called Parenting Apart. You can Google it, which gave me really good tips on how to talk to. It gives you basically like if your child is this age, this is what you say. This age, this is what you say. And it said like a lot of stuff around, you know, acknowledging their feelings, around explaining and being really certain. I think was the main thing. Like you can't go to a child and say, "Mummy and Daddy might get back together," because then they have this anxiety and this hope around when are you getting back together. And I've seen it in like, you know, other relationships where the kids are like holding on and waiting for their parents to get back together. And their parents have actually made the decision that they're over, done. But they think, I'll soften the blow with the kids by saying, "Mummy and Daddy maybe one day." And so these kids are holding this anxiety of when is it going to happen, when is it going to happen? And that's just painful for them. So for us, we had to go with, it's over. Nothing you can say or do is going to change this. We had to explain the different ways that people love. So one really important thing for me was explaining to her that the love that Mummy and Daddy has, it's interchangeable. It can grow, it can shrink, it can disappear. You know, the love that we have is not set in stone. The love for our children, it comes one size. It does not grow if you're a good kid. It does not shrink if you're naughty, and it never will change. I cannot fall out of love with you. I cannot stop loving you. You will always be my child, no matter how you act, what you do.
That's actually pretty cool.
I will never stop. Totally. I will never love you any more or any less.
You want to make sure she doesn't think that can happen.
Exactly. Because when you say, like, we don't love each other anymore, she's like, "Well, what if you stop loving me?"
Correct. Wow.
I think it was so cool. I think we just did that so awesome.
Yeah.
And even now, like just the co-parenting thing, like Ange and I think the way we do it is pretty cool.
You know what I love, one thing you said that I remember is that you guys, because obviously things change over time, right? Life moves on, other people come into your guys' lives, things change, emotions change. And what I love is that you guys agreed at the beginning when you guys are in this great headspace and agreed on how you guys are going to co-parent. Right? Like that was, you know, because what happens is it's like next thing you know, the kids are being stolen from daycare. Like this is what these are the stories you hear. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, there's Amber Alerts because of it's crazy. It's ridiculous stuff. So I love what you actually said that. You know, one of the mandatory things we want is to make sure whatever agreement that we made between us and the co-parenting was done now when our headspace is like very clear.
Yeah.
You know, and no emotion in the fire.
Yeah, I think that's all that too. And this is
amazing.
This is a little bit of advice too.
I think that one piece of advice is nice.
Yeah, I think Ange and I had that foresight as well. Maybe partly because of the lawyer by trade, but we want to be doing proper consent orders while we're happy.
Correct. I love that.
To agree to everything, so financial and parenting while we're happy.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to fall back to this stage.
Correct. Yeah. You might feel like this now, but and it's the same thing in any relationship. It could be in a business relationship, right? Because it's like you start out this, a business now, and there's nothing there, and then all of a sudden 5 years later, it's turned into this conglomerate thing. But you didn't do enough. I did too much. You said this. I said that. But remember that time back in, 1989.
But I think the biggest thing, the most important thing for any parent is you cannot speak poorly of your ex-partner. No matter if Hugh made me want to murder him, I would never ever tell my kids anything less than your dad is incredible. He is your hero. He is the best daddy in the whole world. He loves you so much. He's such a good man. I care for him. Even if I want to strangle him, which I haven't yet, but I might one day, that is always what I'm going to tell the kids. There can never be phone conversations with other people, with the kids in the vicinity where you speak poorly of your ex-partner. You have to be so conscious that all your kids hear is love and respect for your ex-partner, and all their memories are how much you guys care.
And that goes even with people that are still in a relationship. Because sometimes when people get in arguments or fights, they're not thinking straight,
No.
The next thing you know, they're saying stupid things. And the kids are and this is what we're very cautious of as well, Jen and I. It's like, if we do get into an argument, you know, we're very cautious of now how we're speaking. Where are the kids?
Yeah.
Are they listening? Do you know what I mean? Because man, they are like sponges, these kids. You know
and how many like teenage or even adult women, their issue or everyone's issues come from their parents. The last thing you want to do is be feeding into that story for them of daddy wasn't good enough, daddy wasn't there, daddy didn't love me. If my kids are constantly hearing from me, he is incredible, he loves you so much, that story doesn't have a chance to get in.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And if there's ever a moment where they're like, daddy doesn't care about me, or vice versa, it's like, no, my mum always reminded me of how amazing dad was and how much he cared about me and how much he does for me. Even if you've got, and we're lucky not to have this, but even if your partner is a deadbeat, your kids need to not know about it. Because it's not a competition, because who loses in that competition is the kids when they grow up saying, I had a deadbeat dad, he didn't love me, he didn't care about me. So even if your partner is a total, not giving you a cent and he's a millionaire, or even if he's not parenting the way you want, he's feeding them junk food when you're trying to be healthy with them. But no matter what's happening, the kids need to always think or know that he is doing the best job possible, because your kids are never going to go, mum's better than dad. It's not a competition. They're just going to lose. And you're going to all lose out in the long run because you have kids when they're adults.
That's amazing. And I'm a big believer too, and I see you guys are massive in this as well, as just being a part of your kids' lives, you know, like just being there. You know, like tomorrow, honestly, I've got 3 or maybe 4 events, Father's Day events. I've got one at kindy, I've got one at dance, I've got one at school, the 3. You know what I mean? So, but they're all sporadic times. So basically tomorrow, I'm just doing.
Being celebrated.
Yeah, I'm just being celebrated by my children.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about anything else tomorrow. You know, whereas a lot of other people, they would not do that, right?
Well, they don't have that opportunity.
They don't have the opportunity. Some of them don't, and that's fine. But you have to try as much as you can, you know, to be there. Like when I see, you know, some posts that Hugh puts up sometimes, and you're walking her Bo to school on the beach, because you guys live near the beach, and Bo's school is literally on the beach. Like growing up, like growing up, when she's 40 years old, telling her friends, like, I remember when my dad or my mom, you know, used to walk me to school, like on the beach. So unbelievable.
And I'll tell you something, like people always say, well, we don't want to split because of the kids. And I can tell you one thing, and it's kind of messed up, but our kids are so much better off. We are better parents separately, because I know for me personally, there was always the fallback of like, I'm working, you take them. Or I've had them all day, but they've just been watching TV. Like we didn't do the quality things with them when we were together that we do now. Whereas now, I get the kids on Wednesday, and every single minute that they're with me is totally dedicated to them. They get my uninterrupted love, attention. If I need to do a call, it's explained to them like, you know, mommy's working, and it's like worked out in advance. But they get every single part of me in that half of the week, and every single part of me in that part of the week.
So if anyone's gonna get that, no DMs for Ange on.
No DMs will stop.
That's
no one's lying on me, please.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How are we doing?
So I mean, the kids are like, the kids are almost better off because we're both happy and growing, and they're getting more of us separated than they were together. Does that kind of make sense?
It does.
Yeah, I think I told you the other day, so when I had them for like 3 days and I was present with them, but
I
when
know
I
you
get to give them back, I'm like, see ya! Then I pick them up and like, oh, this is the best. You're like, see ya! Literally, it's like that. My house, there's these LOL dolls and bushies everywhere, mate. And I'm just like,
bushies, great for the environment, bushies. So we've got about 5 more minutes left now.
I know.
We've all played with it.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we've got about 5 minutes left. So, but there's a lot of value that's been brought.
We can talk about a lot of other stuff.
We could be here for hours. I mean,
but I can't remember what I was going to talk about before.
I think at the end of the day, you want the partner you're with or the partner you're not with separated or together. At the end of the day, if it comes down to what's going to make your life happier. It's ensuring that you're doing what feels right for you, and you want in your heart the happiness of the other person. I think the reason Hugh and I have such a great uncoupled relationship is we both want each other to be happy. He wants me to be happy. Even the uncomfortable conversations about new boyfriends and
100%.
seafood and things like that. He wants me to be happy no matter what, and vice versa. Whether you date a 20-year-old, as long as you're happy and she's good to my kids. I'm happy. No, but I'm happy as long as he's happy. And he's happy as long as I'm happy, whatever that means. So I think that that's the most important thing. Whereas what can happen is people are so focused on, I want to win or I need to be right, that they don't care about other people's happiness. They don't care. They just want to be right. They want to be, you know, the better person or whatever it is. In this situation, neither of us are better or worse. Neither of us are right or wrong. We're just both totally dedicated to, are you happy?
I just want to see Ange the happiest she's ever been, whether it's whatever that looks like for her, whether it's new relationships, as long as she's able to provide for the kids and be the best mum she can be and the best friend. That's all that matters to me, mate. Love it.
Ditto, right?
So
then communicate.
Communicate's the key. It's the key there.
We say that almost every podcast, I swear.
Maybe you guys should be called the Communication Podcast.
Communication.
No, yeah, so like, follow, and share this podcast. I'm going to get Ange to promote this on her socials.
He literally just got me on here to build the podcast up.
Yeah, 100%. My Instagram is a bit weak, so please.
Everyone follow Eric
Follow me
Machado.
because
Your handle is a bit hard. It's underscore. Eric.
I know, you know. Grant Cardone hates underscores. He's
What
like,
you should do? I am Eric or something. I am Eric. Or real Eric.
I should change it. I'm going to change it, okay? I'm going to leave underscores out. I'm going to change it for this underscore.
Just no, do like at I am Eric Machado or I'm real Eric Machado or something like that, which is really cool. Because you are real
Underwater sea creature. The underwater sea creature. I love it.
You are.
And next week's podcast, these boys are going to be talking about seafood, mostly squid, so be sure to tune in.
Thanks, guys.
Please follow Gratitude Project, Ange. Thank you so much.
I am Eric Machado and Hugh Simpson.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing me into your.
Yeah, my old house, it feels really weird.
Get out.
All right. Peace.
I'm going to go back in now.